The year was 1996. An American government teacher from H.D. Woodson Senior High School saw a problem and wanted to do something about it.
I never thought about survival and being alive as a goal. My first year here at H.D. Woodson High School, I went to 11 funerals of my students. I'd never been to a funeral in my life.
Back in elementary, thrived on misery. Left me alone, I grew up amongst a dying breed. Inside my mind, couldn't find a place to rest until I got that thug life tatted on my chest.
A lot of people in my family, in my neighborhood, didn't have a career or didn't have a career that one would like to probably speak of or speak of highly.
She recognized a need to ensure students who worked hard amidst social, economic, and racial disparities the opportunity to excel in college and in the workforce. So Susie decided to make a difference that continues to impact the lives of DC's youth over a decade later.
Nobody should ever be made to feel less than because of their economic situation, because of their lot in life.
Susie founded the Hoop Dreams Scholarship Fund, an organization that has helped hundreds of DC public high school students accomplish their dreams of college and career success through a combination of mentoring, college and SAT preparation, internships, and academic scholarships.
I'm involved in an awful lot of charities, national charities, regional charities, and local charities. And Hoop Dreams has become one of my favorite because I've seen it work day to day in action.
I always say it's easy to give money. It's harder to give time and energy. And what the people who are associated with Hoop Dreams do is provide that time and energy that is essential to the success of our children.
A lot of people like me really don't have many opportunities out here today, so we really need someone to look up to. So what Hoop Dreams is giving back to the community is like a big brother to them.
I told Susie from the very start that, okay, my funds can be used in any way to build the organization. You know, so with the thought in mind that I'm going to send more kids to college that way.
No young person is born and thinking, oh, I want to be another statistic. You know, I want to be another kid that's gunned down or who gets pregnant at an early age or is out dealing drugs or ends up in jail. And we all know the stats, and they're very true, that there are more low-income, young African-American males in communities like this in jail than there are in school.
Oh, so long for this night I prayed that a star would guide you my way to share with me this special day.
Her father encouraged her to take an active role in government, politics, world, and economic issues, an influence that would lead Susie to Washington to study at American University en route to a career on Capitol Hill.
This is the Washington, D.C. that I knew, that I dreamed about, that I envisioned.
Upon her arrival, Susie began to see life in the city through a new set of eyes.
These are the thriving businesses that our kids see day in and day out. And this is the example of, you know, the business community.
Susie's studies revealed the racial challenges, lack of resources, and economic divide affecting education. She was astonished to actually see the difference in young people's lives when they grow up without a support system.
Maybe all the crime and stuff that happens wouldn't happen if they had that guidance from an older person.
Susie K. was one such person that stepped in and provided leadership at a much needed time in the life and the pursuit of happiness of a lot of children.
Susie noticed a bridge that crossed the Anacostia River. The bridge was a divide that exposed two Washingtons.
That's the interesting dichotomy of Washington, D.C. There's, you know, the Washington, D.C. that we all see on television every night when we watch The West Wing, but then there's the real Washington, D.C. that we all see when we watch the 11 o'clock news. And those are often two different worlds being depicted. And so I see Susie K. as often a connector of those worlds.
Upon graduation from American U, she found and accepted her dream job, a position as a 12th grade American government teacher at H.D. Woodson Senior High School.
You know, I just want to make sure the rest of the city sees that this is their reality every day. It's not what a lot of people see when they go to school every day. And this is why this is a problem that's so much bigger than just, you know, one school and a school system. It's the problem and a challenge of the entire community, and everybody needs to take responsibility for that.
DC began to look, feel, and sound different.
For a lot of my students, I was the first white person they had ever had a daily relationship with. And they had a lot of great questions, funny questions, and serious questions about white people. Why don't they ever see white people in their neighborhood? Why do white people not seem to care about them? Why do people in general across the river and across that bridge in Washington, D.C. expect them to fail? That's how they felt.
As a teacher, Susie decided to use her resources and expose her students to as much as possible. Her classroom became a think tank for challenging community, political, and social discussions with her students and her invited guests.
I would have panels of people come in and discuss issues and what was going on so the students could be exposed to different issues. That was something that was very important to me, that they would hear different point of views.
Her classroom was a classroom of ideas where anything could happen, where there wasn't a wrong answer.
She got a number of us who lived up on the hill involved with coming into her classroom.
Her students were so warm and so welcoming. All they were interested in was that I was a friend of Miss K's.
Susie had an idea. She enlisted the help of friends, colleagues, community leaders, and students to organize a modest charity basketball tournament to connect her students with more local professionals and raise money for academic college scholarships.
I said, you know, that's great. When do you want to do this? I'm in. And she said, well, I'm thinking about June. I said, that's great, Susie. We'll have a whole year to plan. This will be great. And in typical Susie fashion, she said, oh no, not next June, this June. And I'm thinking, all right, what?
So all the people in the community came out to see all these kids playing basketball with a lot of white folks. And so that was not common.
I just remember thinking this was probably the happiest day of my life, because everybody I love in these two worlds, who for all those years at Woodson I was trying to bring together and have their hearts touch one another. And literally, here is where it started.
Hoop Dreams brought together members of the community from all over Washington, D.C. For one afternoon, the dividing bridge over the river was gone. Hoop Dreams held its first 3-on-3 charity basketball tournament. The one-day tournament was the beginning of a journey that would empower hundreds of students to have better lives. One very early morning, while promoting the second tournament, Susie found support from an unexpected place.
I did an interview. It was a taped interview on WJZW with Tom Grooms that I didn't even listen to. It was on at 6 in the morning on a Sunday morning. I just talked about this dream that I had, that more people out here in this business community would see for themselves that the best investment they could ever make were in these young people growing up. Lucky for me, a man named George Newstrom, who at that time was the head of EDS, and he called me and said, EDS is going to give you $10,000. And I hung up on him because I thought it was a prank call, but then he called me back and said, I'm not going to call you again. So I didn't hang up on him, and EDS became our founding sponsor.
Today, Hoop Dreams has evolved into a comprehensive program that entails college and SAT prep courses, mentoring, internships, and annual academic scholarships.
All of the guest speakers who come, that is an opportunity for internships, for ways to get connections, because, you know, it's who you know and what you know as well.
Her self-confidence, her organizational skills, her self-determination just really blossomed. And I think seeing her at her high school graduation really epitomized that, of just, you know, how she was just glowing that day and so proud of the scholarship she won and the acknowledgement she gotten from her work. It was great to see.
Statistics show 33% of students attending high school in Wards 7 and 8 graduate from high school within 5 years, and only 5% earn a college degree within 5 years of enrollment.
My target was high school, because that's our last chance to save a lot of these guys. We get them on the right road, and that road is to secondary education and a better life.
The whole point of us being here as human beings is to use whatever we can in our lives to hopefully bring some good to other people's lives.
The Hoop Dreams Scholarship Fund remains vital to bridging this education gap. So with a small staff and committed group of volunteers, Susie K and Hoop Dreams continue to empower the communities to address local and national issues, as well as impact the lives of DC youth, one student at a time.
I'm proud that we have developed an organization that has helped send 800 DC public high school students to college.
You now have a record of success stories of kids that just got that little extra help when they needed it and have become dynamic contributors to the community.
So we as a community are obligated to help them maximize their potential because at the end of the day, we all benefit.
What began as a one-day charity basketball tournament aimed to galvanize a community and raise money for academic scholarships has evolved into the premier college prep mentoring program in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area.
I really, really believe that it is because of her passion and her vision, her enthusiasm and her sincerity that she was really able to take this organization to a level where she gets an incredible amount of support.
I would describe Susie as a hurricane. She kind of blows in, things go flying all over the place, then the eye of the storm comes, it like calms down, and then you get swept off your feet once again. And we need people in the city like Susie K.
When I met Susie and met her team at that time, which was very, very small, I saw, quite frankly, people that are doing something they don't have to do.
We have to continue supporting Hoop Dreams for it to be successful in meeting this need. The need is not getting any lesser. It's even getting worse probably, and a greater need for organizations to do the things that Hoop Dreams is doing.
So we have a college prep program which offers mentoring to our students in the senior year of high school, and we take them throughout the college prep application process. We then offer an internship program where we place students in businesses throughout the DC area. And then finally, our last component of our 3-year-long programs is our college prep SAT prep through the Princeton Review. So with our partnership with the Princeton Review, we offer the full $1,000 SAT prep course to our students free of charge. And that helps their scores anywhere from 50 to 200 points, and that sometimes is the make or to break it for them to get into college.
Were it not for our efforts and us engaging that student and his mother on a constant basis and bringing in the Hoop Dreams staff whenever we need it, that student would not have the opportunity that they did in college today. And because I know that this program is one that is successful and it works, we need it.
Hoop Dreams helps hundreds of DC youth achieve their dreams of college and career success. It is a testament to the power that exists once people invest, engage, and trust in each other's lives.
I just want to stress the importance of the organization goes well beyond even college, but it really does connect, two different communities, and they both gain equally from each other. It's really not a one-way street at all.
This program, Hoop Dreams, is really not only doing great things for the community, but it's famous as well, as this 10th anniversary celebration will testify to.
To say that I am part of Hoop Dreams gives me just a huge amount of pride because I see the difference we're making in people's lives and in the lives of people in Washington, D.C.
The thing that really warms me is she knows them, they know her, and they trust her. And I think that's half the battle touching young people, is to getting them to trust you.
Things that we're doing now impact these kids years beyond.
To really understand Susie, I think you had to know her father too. He was a great role model, a really inspiring man, and he had a great quote about perseverance. This was from 1958 when he was in the Navy. And he said, "Persevere, don't quit, don't waver. Nothing is really worth doing which can be done easily. The real
joy in life lies in accomplishing a job of lasting value that others said could not be done. The greatest triumphs are won by men and women who will not be beaten, who will not give up, by those who persevere. Don't quit."